Hello, I'm Belinda from Sacred Transformations. Thank you so much for connecting with me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, a transformational healer, and a spiritual teacher. And I connect with your guides and passed over loved ones to provide you with light bulb moments of clarity to support you in healing your past, changing your present, and helping you to create your future, as well as learning how to grow so that you can step into your best version of yourself. So what I'd like to do today is just drop in and do a quick little 3-card reading for the week coming up, just to see what's going on energetically and to give you a bit of support as you move forward. So as I connect with Spirit, the card I've pulled first, is the 9 of Pentacles. Now, as I connect with Spirit and tune into this card, I'm drawn to the Pentacles themselves, which are all around this beautiful lady. Now, Pentacles for me are significant areas of your life. And I feel like in particular with the full moon energy at the moment, it's all about connections, whether that's relationships that are with self, intimacy, relationships, or friends. Because it's a time of clearing out what's no longer serving you and paying closer attention to the things where you do need to be placing your awareness and attention so that you can just work through things, go through your life with a bit of a sieve, for lack of a better word. I don't know why I'm using that word, but it's not one I normally use. But just going through your life with a fine-tooth comb and just putting a sieve through things so that you can take out anything that's blocking the flow, if you will. Like everyone knows what a sieve or a colander of sorts is. It traps anything that is stopping the flow. So it's like the energy this week is for you to pay closer attention, especially given that it's such a powerful full moon, and just go through your areas of your life that are important or that just aren't quite making you happy or need a bit of a spotlight shone on them, so that you can just stop and take stock of where you're at and decide whether you want to do things a bit differently, whether you need to cut people, places, things out of your life that aren't serving you, or whether some hard conversations need to be had just to bring the flow back in. Like what do you need to transform and shift through so that you can move on to make your life what you want it to be the best version of yourself. So I feel like because there's quite a number of key areas in a person's life, it's wanting you to narrow down where you need to focus your attention and where the most effective way of bringing flow and things into fruition for you in that particular area. What do you need to do? What actions do you need to take? Like, could the action just be you need to take more care of yourself, so you need to just stop? Like, that's an action too. Like, what is it that you need to do to bring the flow back in? If you had to put your life through a sieve, what would flow and what would get left behind? And the stuff that gets left behind, what do you do with it? Do you just cut it off, get rid of it, throw it out? Do you need to have a conversation? You know, what action needs to be taken? Now, I'm staring at, I'll show you the card again, the fruit in the background, and that for me is the fruits of life. So in dealing with these key areas of your life, you will get the fruits of your labor. Like sometimes, yes, difficult conversations need to be had, and that's okay. You're coming from a loving place with it. So as long as your intentions are pure and loving, then, you know, sometimes you just have to have the difficult conversations for things to shift and change and things to come into fruition. There's growth around being able to do that for yourself and for the other person, because really people come in and out of your lives as part of your journey. They're going to be temporary, or they're going to be long term. But everyone is in your world for a reason. And sometimes the reason is to teach us things. So it could just be a lesson, or you could be teaching them a lesson. Whatever that lesson is, once the lesson's been learned, then that person is going to step away, and that's okay. If that happens, it's because a door is closing so that another one can open. So, you know, it's all about evolution. Like, we're here to keep growing and evolving. So I think it's really important just to stop and take stock of relationships, including with self, so that you can learn, grow, be aware of people, places and things that might need to be shifted to bring some better flow in. The next card I'm pulling, oh, it's a good one. It's the Magician. Oh, sorry, the light's in the way. So I'm drawn to the infinity symbol that's above the Magician's head, because to me that's infinite possibilities, and there's growth all around the top. And the fact that the Magician has the little wand in his hand, so it's pointing up to the sky and down to the ground, so you're connected to source energy. So you can't really put a foot wrong. Like, it's prime time for manifesting and letting go of what doesn't serve you. So yeah, as you embrace the energy of a magician, like, what does a magician mean to you? Like, they pull a rabbit out of their hat. Things can happen that you least expect and can be absolutely amazing. So, you know, embrace your inner magician and just go with the flow and pull a rabbit out of your hat. Stranger things have happened. Why not? So he's got a lot of growth around him. He's got his cloak of protection. He's got infinite possibilities. Like, I love the Magician card. It's, to me, it's a card of possibility. So I'm going to embrace that, because I think that's amazing, especially at the moment with the moons. So the next card I've pulled is the Knight of Wands. And as I connect to this card, I'm drawn to the horse and the way it's rearing up. So it's almost like now is the time to really get moving. It's as if things have been stagnating for a while, and, you know, you go through life, you wake up, you do what you've got to do, you go to sleep. It's like now is the time to really start paying attention to your needs, wants and desires, and what makes your heart sing, and get in alignment with it, because we're in this world for a journey. Like, no one's a tree. We're not stuck. We're in this world to have a journey. So sometimes when you get stuck, you're either stuck for a reason because there's things playing out around you that need to fall into place, or you're stuck because you're stuck. So it's important to recognize which one you're in. Like, if you're stuck, then it's really a prime opportunity to just take an action. And it doesn't have to be a massive action. It can just be one little thing that's going to create a ripple effect through your life. So if you were to embrace the energy of a horse, like, to me, a horse is symbolic of freedom. Like, horses just run wherever they want to run. They're not tied down by anything, really. So this horse, it's like I'm up and I'm going. So just jump on the back of the horse and go for a ride. Who knows where it's going to take you? And as I'm looking at the horse, underneath the horse, there's basically a blank canvas. Like, to me, it's just a big, sparse, open area. So to me, that means there's infinite possibilities, which goes back to the Magician, where you've got a clean slate to just create whatever you want in whatever way sits and fits for you. And I know a lot of people get stuck in the whole, I've made a decision and I don't know if it's the right one. Like, there's never a wrong decision. So just make the decision, because you can always go back and review that decision later on and change it again. Like, you can do that. It's totally okay. You don't have to judge yourself for it. It's just part of your learning. So you can make a decision, you can make different choices, and the world is your oyster. So there's infinite possibilities, there's growth, there's prosperity. It's just a matter of taking stock of where you're at and deciding if there's things that you want to mix up and change, because it's a perfect time at the moment. You've got full moon energy, then you're going to come into a new moon, which is all about manifesting. It's a time for looking at your ambitions and bringing in the creativity, because in bringing in the creativity, you're also bringing back in the joy and the fun, which opens your heart and your energy to more possibilities being able to drop in, because you're not stuck in the stress and anxiety so much. Yeah, so it's just a time of transition and change. Just embrace it and just go with the flow. And I'll just pull another card. Oh, it's the P word. Sorry. Oh, can you see that? Patience. I call it the P word because sometimes I don't like to hear it. That's just me. So yeah, embracing patience with self, I want to say that's directed at, because sometimes people take themselves a bit seriously and are less patient with themselves than they are with others. They don't cut themselves the same slack that they'd give somebody else. So I feel like if you're ready to make big changes or little changes in your life, you put the intention out there and you take the action. And as long as you're doing that and taking the steps towards what you want to bring in, the patience is there. But if you get to a point where there's no flow in the direction that you're going, then you need to just stop. And that's where the patience needs to come into it, because you need to stop and assess whether you're just in a holding pattern because there's other things playing out that need to drop in for you to take the next step, or whether you're going in the wrong direction and you're hitting walls and things just aren't flowing and they don't feel right in your gut. Yeah, there's patience can go two ways. It's not patience as in just sit there and do nothing because you're being patient, because that's not the time at the moment. It's knowing when to be patient and using that discernment to know when you need to take an action and when you need to stop, which will be through connection to source and asking your guides what's the next step, because the next step could be to stop, so you've got infinite resources from spirit. Like, you've got loved ones, you've got guides, and they're all there to help you. So talk to them if you're not sure. Like, you'll have little droplets of information that will come in, and when you're embracing the creativity and the joy, you're going to be more open to them dropping in. So yeah, I feel like the patience is a really big one in all of this at the moment, because if you rush, you'll miss a step. And then I think there's a few people out there that, I don't know who this is going to, but there's people out there that are missing steps because of their impatience, where sometimes they're being impatient in the wrong places, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot going on in the next couple of weeks, particularly in the next week, and just being open and aware and grounded and present is going to be the most loving, kindest thing you can do for yourself, as well as paying attention to your connections around yourself, your intimate relationships, your friends, and looking at your ambitions and bringing some creativity back in. That's what they want you to know. So I hope this helps you flow through your week. If you'd like a personal reading, you can jump on over to my website, www.sacredtransformations.com.au, and you're welcome to book a reading. So I hope you take the time this week to connect with your authentic self and allow spirit to help guide you and support you on your pathway to your authentic self, so that you can heal your past, change your present, and create your future. So have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.